Hello, it's Shem Tech again. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to look at how to split your Microsoft Access database to front end and back end. First of all, you must have a database to split and another tool which we call Microsoft SQL Server Migration Assistant for Access, which helps us to split the database into two. Let us see how we get the tool first. We go to our browser. This tool is freely available, provided by Microsoft. So let us go and type SSMA for access. We choose Microsoft SQL Server Migration Assistant for access. It leads us to where we download, so we can download it from here. As for me, I have already downloaded mine, so you download from there. So you can see when I search my apps, it is here, it is already installed, and I have the installer versions here. So what we have to do is to make sure that we have the database to split. So I have a database to split. You can go to my documents and I pick one of the examples and we use. Let me check this one, relationships. Let me see what's there. Sometimes I have students who practice these things and they leave their work. Let me see this one. It doesn't look that good. We look for the one that really looks good to some extent. Let me check this one. Let us use this one. Yes, use this one to work for us. When I'm entering the name, I can enter, for example, Shem, date of birth, choose 1st September 2025, telephone, I can put anything, then start date, put anything, then end date, put anything, then move to next. Let me check in table students. This information is here. But now what we mean by having a front end and a back end, we mean that this should only be a front end and not a front end with a back end, meaning the back end can be hosted somewhere on a server, then this front end only has forms like these ones, but our data will be secure somewhere in a more secure server like Microsoft SQL Server. You may also use MySQL, but I prefer Microsoft SQL Server because it is one family with Microsoft Access, and therefore conversion is very easy. Now that we have our database ready, let me copy it and put it in a folder somewhere where it is easy for us to get. So let me copy this, take it to my desktop, for example, put it here, create a folder. I may call this folder split data. Now, yeah, paste it there. I think you already have yours. Now, what next? Go to file. Let me take you through why one should split the database into front end and back end. Just to know, when your Access application is split into the back end and the front end, there is performance and scalability improvements. For example, Microsoft SQL Server has higher performance than Microsoft Access. It is scalable because it is big. It is bigger than Microsoft Access. It is an enterprise level server. So it is very good that we migrate to Microsoft SQL Server. Another issue is there is data integrity and multi-user access. The back end on a shared server like Microsoft SQL Server supports concurrent access more reliably, and therefore concurrent users access data with integrity without any prohibitions. Another is ease of maintenance and deployment. A client in another country is able to continue working when you're working on the version. When you're done on the version and all the new logic in the front end, you simply replace the old front end with a new front end. There is also data security and compliance. As you know, Microsoft SQL or SQL Server is very secure. It has Windows authentication, it has mixed mode authentication. It is very secure and very reliable. There is flexibility and modernization path because you can also use other languages to program your database with time, then reduce risk of corruption and file size limits. You know, the front end remains with forms and queries, which is small, and there are less chances of corruption. Even if there is corruption, it is easy to solve because data is not affected, it is only forms that are affected. Now, after knowing why we should split our database into front and back end, now we are good to go. Thank you. Let us continue and split our database using SSMA. I believe you know how to get it because I have already showed you. Now we are going to split our database into our database into front and back end. As I told you at the beginning, you must have the database in Microsoft Access, which I do have. It's on my desktop. It's called Datlang, and I told you from the start you should have SSMA installed, and I have it installed. After having the database and the Microsoft SQL Server Migration Assistant for Access installed, then we are good to go. What we do, we run the SSMA. So I am running, double click or right click and say open, and it's loading, as you can see. So this option is not limited to SQL Server. You can also migrate your Access database to Azure, so you can do a lot of things. As you can see, it is already loading. Then click next. Here it's going to ask me the name of my project. I can say data lang. Then they'll ask me where it is located. I browse, then go to desktop. I know it is stored in a folder called split data. So I double click, then I say okay. And that's where I want to locate my files. So I want to migrate it to SQL Server 2012. Okay, I choose, then I go to next. It's loading and it's working out everything. Yeah, it has finished. Now I have to add the databases I want to work on. This database is on the desktop. From the desktop, I choose my folder, which is split data. Then I choose the database, which is data lang. Then I go next. From there, it's going to create objects for me, tables, so I can check. When it's done, it's loading now. We can check. Tables are there, and we only export query tables because the rest can remain in the front end. So go to next. So it will ask me the server of the name, then it asks me the database. I can say the database called data lang. Okay, then we can use Windows authentication. We go to next. See, it is saying database data lang does not exist in the specified instance. Create database. Yeah, of course I want to create this database. So I create this database. So then we say okay. So now it's working. So you can choose this. How are you how likely are you to recommend this application to a friend? We may cancel this one. For now we are not that interested. Then you put the password here for our server. Yeah. So we are converting. It is converting the tables. It is converting the tables, and I know it is done. Can see zero errors. So we close. We close it. So as you can see, everything is complete. You can close. You want to save the projects to the, yes, of course I want. We also save this. Now we check in our split database. we can see this all data. That's why we chose this folder, and all data is saved here. So now let me open our Access. I know the tables are not the usual tables because it has created these tables that link to Microsoft SQL Server. Now when I enter a student, like can enter student, I use server authentication, then I put my password, then okay, now I can enter another one called Becky, another student. Date of birth, let me say 10th, then telephone. This is test data. So start date, you can put anything. End date, again put something. So we go to next. Now we can go to SQL or SQL Server, log into the Management Studio to confirm whether our operation has been successful, to see if the database was created and if these tables do exist. So it's loading. I want to check SQL Server 2012 Management Studio if our database is there and if the data we have entered do exist, and I can really assure you that you have successfully split your database into a front end and a back end. As I talk right now, your Access database is only considered front end. There is nothing you can do to the tables except if done from the back end. So let us see. You can see there is this database which is called datalang, and the tables, these are the tables that are there. Everything now that we do, we can try to view or edit top 200 rows and see if our information is there. Yeah, Becky is there. We can add another student like Lucky.